What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and today I'm going to be showing you guys 2 fixes to help you build a bigger upper chest. All right, so when it comes to building a bigger upper chest, you first have to take a look at the anatomy of the chest and figure out exactly what muscle you're trying to target. So when it comes to the chest, you can break it down into 3 different heads. You have your upper, your middle, and your lower. So what we're obviously going to be targeting is the upper, also known as the clavicular head, just because of where it inserts. So when you're looking at your chest muscle and you're trying to target specifically your upper chest, you also have to take a look at your shoulder anatomy, because a muscle that you often hit, that you can't avoid hitting when you're targeting your upper chest, is your anterior deltoid. That's just another word for front delt. And so what you do is you try to minimize the amount of stimulation on one. So you put one at a biomechanical disadvantage while trying to put the other into a biomechanical advantage. Now, why do you hit both of these muscles at the same time? Well, that's just simply because your upper chest, it originates in your humerus, and then it runs and inserts into the medial head of your clavicle, which is just running up right here. But then your anterior deltoid, it does the same thing. It goes into your humerus, but then it inserts up into the lateral half of your clavicle. So you have both of them starting right here, but then one running across and then one running up. And that is why motions where you're lifting your arms up is going to hit your front delt, and then motions where you're lifting your arm across your body is going to hit more of your chest. But you are going to hit both of these pretty much either way. But in order to stimulate your upper chest and build specifically your upper chest, there is one simple fix that you can do, and this is relating to, I'm going to show you guys it on dumbbells, and I'm going to show you guys it on cables, where what you do, a lot of people talk about rolling your shoulders back when you're hitting your chest. You need to go one step farther than that when you're trying to target your upper chest. You not only need to what is called retracting your scapula. So you have protracting, which is when you roll your shoulders forward, and retracting when you roll your shoulders back. But what happens is when you roll your shoulders back, a lot of times people are just rolling it back, and then they're kind of have their shoulders up a little too high, and they try to hit chest right here, and they do a lot of front delt activation just because their shoulders are too high. Another thing you have to do when you're retracting your scapula is also depress your scapula. So you need to roll your shoulders back, and then once you roll your shoulders back, you have to press them down as far as you can. This is when you do this, you should feel a nice squeeze down in your lat and your anterior serratus. So when you're feeling a squeeze in there, that's going to do nothing but give you a better stimulation in your chest. So roll your shoulders back, depress them, and then when you're trying to hit your upper chest, you also got to remember that you're going up and across at an angle. So like I said, with a lift straight up, you're going to hit your delts, but then across the body, you really want to focus on forgetting about what's in your hand, forgetting about the weight, and really focusing on bringing your elbow from here. So shoulders back, down, elbows across your body. Forget about what's in your hand, forget about the angle that your elbow's bent at. Bring your elbows across your body, and that is what's going to hit that upper part of your chest. So I'm going to show you guys the wrong way with the dumbbells and the right way with the dumbbells. So what you see a lot of times when you guys are trying to do, I'm just going to be doing incline dumbbell press here. A lot of times guys are going back and they're pressing up and they're rolling their shoulders forward. So why don't you come up on top of me. So look at my chest, look down at my chest. When I'm doing this and I'm going down, and I'm pressing up and I'm rolling my shoulders forward, there's a little bit of chest activation, but there's a lot of anterior delt activation. Whereas when I retract my scapula, depress my scapula, and then go down and really focus on pressing this up at an angle while keeping my scapula depressed and retracted, there's a lot better chest activation when I'm doing this rather than when I'm just like that. So that's the first one. Next one I'm going to show you is on some cables. So when it comes to cable flies, this is going to be from low to high. A lot of times what you see is guys picking up weight that is often too heavy for them and going like this. They step forward, they have their shoulders rolled back at the beginning of it because the weight is just naturally leaving it there. But then because it's so heavy, a lot of times they overpower with their front delt, allowing their shoulders to come out in front of their chest, come out to the direct side of me. So when I'm back, my shoulder is behind my chest like it's supposed to be the whole time. So here, my scapula is retracted and depressed. But what happens is guys go too heavy, and when they bring this weight forward, a lot of times their shoulders lead the way and their shoulder ends up in front of their chest. And this is where you hit your anterior delt more than your chest. So the fix that I was talking about is what you want to focus on is putting your chest, your upper pec at a biomechanical advantage. And how you do that is by retracting your scapula just like that, and then not only retracting but depressing as much as you can, creating as much space between your shoulder and your head. And then from here, stick your chest out, keeping your shoulders retracted and depressed the whole time, and bring this weight up. And there you see my chest is still out farther than my shoulders, keeping my shoulders back and down, keeping them back and down the whole time. This doesn't mean that I'm keeping them back and down right here and then I'm pressing forward with my shoulders. That's when you lose all contraction on your chest. Big difference between pushing it forward like this to where you're not really getting much, you're getting a little bit of chest activation, but when you go back and you retract your scapula, depress it, create that space, and then you keep it back, that's when you start really activating your upper chest muscle. And go back, keeping it back, press up, keeping it back again, squeeze, and try to really focus as if, what I personally do is I focus as if someone is taking like a pin and they're pulling my scapula, my shoulder blade down, back and down. And when they do that, that is when you activate your serratus anterior on your side. That is when you get that chest activation. Big difference between rolling your shoulders forward like that, getting a little bit of chest activation, and rolling them back and down and really focusing on getting that contraction. So try this out the next time that you guys go to do any kind of incline press, incline flies, anything where you're trying to hit your upper chest, and I guarantee you feel it a hell of a lot more than you did when you were rolling your shoulders forward like that. And if you guys want more tips that are just like this, I actually made a free physique builder tool where I just asked you a couple of questions and then it matches you up with the plan that's right for you, and it also gives you a couple free tips. So if you don't want to get the plan that it recommends for your body type, then you don't have to, and at least you got a couple free tips. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it in the link in the description below. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you're clicking the thumbs up if you like this video, if it helped you at all, and make sure you're clicking that subscribe button. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.